In this quick tip tutorial, I want to go over the subject of auto-retopologizing a model that has multiple subcomponents. So for example, on this model, there are a lot of smaller components that make up the whole. And if you try to throw all of this at Auto-Retopo to create one mesh, you're probably not going to come away with the results that you're looking for. For one thing, auto-retopology works on one layer at a time. So for example, the parent layer here for the cleats is here, but then you have all these smaller subcomponents. So if I were to try to run Auto-Retopo, it's only going to work on this leather portion. So in the occasions that you may want to apply Auto-Retopo as if everything were just one mesh, I want to show how you could go about doing that. What I will do first though is I want to separate this by taking all the sole elements, everything on the bottom, and I want to create one mesh from the upper cleat here. I'm going to leave all of this intact, but I'm just going to hide the shoelaces and that's it. Let me go ahead and hide those. So what I want to do is on this new layer, it's going to be blank. I want to right click and I want to choose merge visible. What this will do is it's going to essentially create a copy of everything, merge them together just like they were digital clay, but it leaves the original alone. So this is now just one object. And this is what I would want to auto-retopologize. Let's go ahead and give it a try. So Auto-Retopo, and let's try and give this about 25,000. Hit OK. And the capture details, I think the default amount is 50%. I typically, if I have a lot of detail, then I want to crank that up quite a bit. Everything else you can leave at its default. OK. And there will be two steps to the wizard. The first one is painting areas where you want it to have additional density. So you might paint in areas like the eyelets or something like that. You can hold down the control key to erase. Now, if you've got gaps, then you may want to right click and choose fill voids, and that removes any pockets. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. You see it does have some holes here that it's filling. This is always a good practice. Okay, so let's hit next. I'm going to clear. And I may just give it a few hints. Probably want to increase the spline points density. Alright, so I think that should be sufficient. I'll hit next. And while it's calculating, I want to mention that once you create stroke guides, don't worry about having to redo them each time. You don't. All you have to do is just restart Auto-Retopo again, and when it gets to this stage where it wants you to create strokes, it will make them reappear. Okay, so it remembers them unless you clear them manually. and you would clear them right here under special. You would hit clear. If you want to smooth your strokes, you can check that here. If you want to select just one when it's highlighted, then you can hit delete or the delete key on your keyboard. Okay, so this is a result, and it's obviously not quite what we wanted. And a lot of that, I'm almost certain of it, is because of all this extra small surface detail, and that just throws the algorithm off something fierce. So let's just go ahead and delete that layer. 3D Cut will make a new one when we come back and make another attempt. When you have a lot of surface level detail like this, it's best to reduce it down, or at least create a copy that's reduced down, because we really don't need all this detail right now, not until we bake. So there are a couple different ways that we could do it. We can smooth all, and just remember, the higher the polygonal density, the less it's going to be affected when you smooth. If it's relatively low resolution, then it's going to be quite dramatic when you smooth. So that may not be what you want. Let's go ahead and smooth all. Okay. Now really all I want to do is polish here. So I'm going to switch to surface mode, because there's an option here for anti-bump. And I'm just going to use a brush to go through. Okay, so I went through and manually smoothed all these surface level bumps, and let's try to smooth all one more time. Okay, so we'll give it another attempt. Auto-Retopo. I changed it to 30,000 this time. Next, and I think that'll be it for now. Maybe one more right here. All right, let's hit next. Okay, so it was a drastic improvement, but there's still a lot more that we could do. So let's try it. Let's delete this once more. What I'll do is resample this. Okay. Smooth all. Okay, and fill voids. Okay, so we'll try it one more time. Auto-Retopo. And this time we'll go back to 25. Okay. Okay. So you can see how just a little bit of work can get you a lot closer to the objective. Again, just by dumbing things down, making it as easy as possible for the algorithm. If you want improvements in polyflow, what you can do is just create some additional guides that help flow in that direction. Again, you don't want to cross over any, and you don't want to go with too many. You want to try and keep it relatively simple. It's a judgment call on each individual project. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.